Three characteristics is a Buddhist teaching. So I just wrote the song based on that teaching, that life is impermanent, suffering, and not self. Of course, I kind of chose Ajahn Chah's term for impermanence, which was it's uncertain, because things change so often. It's impermanent, which means it's going to change. It's not certain. Unsatisfactory, again, is a replacement for the word suffering. I like the word unsatisfactory. It's a little less harsh, because we think of suffering as being a bit intense. But a lot of what I find in life is just kind of unsatisfactory. It's not so intense. It's just kind of, well, this isn't really working out, you know. This isn't a good situation. And then the last one is not self, which of course that's like such a central Buddhist teaching, because not self is just recognizing that we're not our ego. We're not like a solid self that's unchanging, and we're just going to go from one life to the next as this particular fixed self, when really we are a collection of things: form, feeling, perception, consciousness, physical form. You know, we're this collection of things. We're not just a solid self. There are a lot of causes and conditions to be a human being. It's when we start believing that, you know, believing in I as a solid self, that so many problems arise. When we don't realize, I think it was Thich Nhat Hanh who said, perception is deception. How I perceive things really isn't how it is. It's my perception of how things are. And it's good to have that under awareness. And of course in the song I just kind of sing about how, you know, because it's so unsatisfactory, that I kind of I kind of experienced enough of that, you know, enough of samsara, cycle of endless birth and death, which is the same thing as rebirth of states of mind that can put you in so many different places. You could be in a heaven realm, a hell realm, etc. You just start to see, like, this is all impermanent, and it's an endless cycle. How do I get out of that cycle? But it's also kind of, you know, in the song I'm saying, I hope there's no return. You know, depending on what version of or tradition of Buddhism you follow. I've studied a lot in the Theravada tradition, and they kind of, you know, talk about through meditation, through practice, you start to decrease your likelihood of having to keep coming back and what I kind of think of as repeating the third grade. You just keep practicing well enough to where you start to lose your attachment to desires, and the kind of desires that bind you to this life. Whereas meditation is sort of an undoing of all of our conditioning, where you start to see, you know, this isn't really a stable situation here. And things don't really last. And, you know, if I keep coming back, I keep finding the same thing, that life is unsatisfactory. what's the point in just keep coming back for more of that?
When this body finally dies, the world will still turn. When this body breaks up